The Black Ops 7 hype train has officially started. We've seen gameplay, we've seen so many details revealed about the game, and we've seen everyone on Twitter who has absolutely trashed the franchise immediately change their tune as soon as we hear some positive details about the game. The community is genuinely cooked at this point. It's like getting hurt by the same toxic, abusive ex 1,000 times and then thinking they've changed because they dyed their hair. But not to fear. I've come out of hibernation because I've got some pack watching to do, and we're approaching this in a way that's so stone cold, so based in the facts, that you're going to remember why you abandoned Black Ops 6. And yeah, every other game before that too. There does not seem to be a lot of honest creators, because if you're actually honest about Call of Duty, you don't get invited to events and you don't get paid by Activision. So these idiots would rather bend over backwards for Daddy Activision and push a false narrative about a game that is designed to be hype and appealing and specifically engineered to be diabolically and unethically addictive through unfair mechanics and matchmaking. Black Ops 7 is going to be the same rigged and painful mess in a slightly better looking package. These creators just need money, so they're going to constantly peddle a narrative about the game that is incredibly misleading. I'm gonna go off on a little tangent here, but it's incredibly relevant. But you gotta stick with me here, okay? Clash Royale is making a return to the gaming scene for whatever reason, mainly because of Jinxie. Anyways, I vowed not to play the game because it's a dumb pay-to-win mobile game, but eventually, my friends convinced me to get it. And I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 days were an absolute blast. I played the game a crazy amount about 8 years ago, so I had plenty of experience playing. I had to start over because I lost my account, and because they're a billion-dollar company, they don't give a rip about me. But anyways, the first 4 arenas was just me mopping the floor with basically everyone I played against. Every single match was fair. Cards were equal levels. I was on par with the enemy player. Our towers had the same health. But as soon as I hit the 5th arena, suddenly something was happening. I wasn't winning as much, but not because I was getting outplayed, because I was constantly playing against players that were over-leveled in comparison to me, which meant their towers had more health, their cards had more health and damage values, and I was a sitting duck even against decks I should essentially counter. And then I noticed something. I couldn't win more than twice in a row, where before I would go on 5 to 7 game win streaks. I win a fair game with equal leveling between me and my opponent, and then I would just get a game where I would get smoked because I had no chance of beating the guy. Someone with over-leveled cards, Evo cards, which you have to spend money to get most of the time, and more overall health. Literally unfair matches that I was guaranteed to lose regardless of my strategy. But not to worry, because I like games, and I also like getting better at games, so there must have been a way to outskill this kind of a cycle, right? Where my opponent's cards are 2 to 3 levels higher than mine all the time. Let's just watch the top players like Ken and Riley. Okay, cool. Ken is great, his strategy is really good, his timing's impeccable, he understands the game, he's a great player. And what is that? 25,000 gems? That is $200 worth of gems. All his cards are maxed out over years of playing, which is basically impossible without spending money, and it finally hit me. It's a stupid mobile game. It's designed this way. The game is quality, and the strategy is good. I'll give it that, but it's diluted by a system that forces you to level up 15 arenas in order to access all the cards. It forces you to grind and level up your cards to be able to actually compete with anyone remotely good, and it forces you to spend money to unlock completely busted and overpowered cards early so that you have something that players that don't spend money in the game can't get. And then the whole time you're trying to grind all 15 arenas to unlock the actual full game, all the cards, and level everything up, you're playing in rigged matchmaking that controls your win rate by matching you against players that are over-leveled. And when you play something that doesn't have trophies or stakes for losing a game, you're not leveling anything up. You can't earn anything, you can't gain levels, you can't gain trophies, and you can't unlock cards. So unless you're playing a mode where it can rig your results and force you to stay back so that you have to wait to unlock the full game, you're just not leveling. So when you actually hop into normal matchmaking that rewards you with new cards and leveling up and stuff, you're playing in this stupid rigged matchmaking where you're playing kids over-leveled compared to you, because the game wants you to invest time and the game wants you to spend money. And the more it sets you back, the more you're going to have to play in order to reach a higher arena. You get where I'm going with this. And the best part is that every deck has something that hard counters it, and the game knows which cards counter which. So you'll end up playing against decks that have cards that completely counter your win condition, and against players you can't beat because of their level. And the guys that promote the game are super good at it. Well, they spend egregious amounts of money on the game and are sponsored by Supercell. So we're not actually seeing a true honest image of the game. Call of Duty follows the same principle as a stupid mobile game. Black Ops 7 looks pretty fun on paper, but the rigged, addictive matchmaking cycle and lack of transparency of Activision are masked by hype, false promises, and the cheesy O-face hype of the content creators that are not only paid off by Activision to say positive things about the game, but that also spend egregious amounts of money on the game, which in turn makes their matchmaking better because using certain skins affects how you're matched in order to advertise said skin to other players as per this patented Activision software. So you're not playing the same game as the guys on the top, especially not with half these clowns 2-boxing and reverse boosting for easier lobbies to get clips, which makes it look like you can hop on the next game and do the same, only to realize you're playing against iridescent level players in the next optic nade shot every time you want to chill out and play pubs. So how does Call of Duty make their money? Well, if it's Game Pass, it's a subscription to play, but if you're buying the game for $80, yes, $80 by the way, then the only way it can continue to squeeze money out of you is by having you buy skins. And obviously the parent company will actively work towards this goal. And this is where we must remember that it is literally publicly available information that not only is the matchmaking in game designed to directly measure player engagement, it also simulates match outcomes and results before they're played to measure the likelihood of you spending money after the fact, and your likelihood to quit, and your engagement level. This is in a video on YouTube by Activision about COD, by the way. You can literally watch it. I will link it below. It's also publicly available that they publicly gaslighted us in a public blog post about their matchmaking, where they used misleading language in order to make it look like every single system that we're accusing them of using isn't actually in the game. They basically mislead you with clever language to make you think they're publicly denying what they've been accused of, but they haven't actually answered us once. Here's an example. Oh, spending money doesn't affect matchmaking. Ah, but wearing certain skins does. The matchmaking doesn't affect in-game elements, but other hidden server-side algorithms do, and the matchmaking just makes the matches. Do they think we're stupid? And skill-based damage adjustment is already in the game for bots, meaning it is fully possible. Engagement, defined as time played, isn't measured for the matchmaking, but gotcha! Engagement as in player interest level is, and there's a full presentation about how this system works from 6 years ago. The funny part, they can't deny any of this. They literally have not answered any of the actual burning questions directly, and they even said ping is king, even though the ping in every single match sucks and every match is more competitive than the World Cup final. The psychology of COD's system follows that of goofy-ass Clash Royale. So stop falling for this dumb trick. They think we're stupid. And I'm also kind of pissed off because I was actually enjoying Clash, and then once I got tossed a bunch of rigged losses because I literally couldn't beat the idiots that were over-leveled and spending money on Evo cards, oh my gosh, it infuriated me to no end because I literally cannot find a game I enjoy besides the finals because every single stupid AAA game is rigged to sell microtransactions. It is ridiculous. So even though Treyarch posts, oh, 3 Black Ops 2 maps on launch, 16 maps total on launch, 30 weapons at launch, 16 never-before-seen weapons, looping score streaks, open maps, no tac sprint, no doors, never, ever forget that they think we're idiots and we're gonna fall for it. I have no sympathy at this point. Do not pre-order this game, so help me. Don't buy this game until they actually address all of our concerns and stop ignoring us. Let's add to that list. Rigged matchmaking based on skins, rigged server-side algorithms to force results and handicap worse players, engagement measurement to help rig the matchmaking, lack of communication and lack of care about the player base, big creators that are paid to lie and pretend the game is in an acceptable state. And these negatives should sway you far away from the game. I don't care how good it looks. Do not pre-order this game. Don't hop on because they're gonna put Raid 24/7 as the frontlining mode in the game. Mark my words. Oh, Raid 24/7 with cool movement in the game is crazy. Oh, Black Ops 7. Oh. Play anything else but COD. I'm Prime Pete. Take it easy.